Duluth is on its way to the podium. Their locker room is opened up, and it'll be open up till 10:55. Carolina win the title and you just go out and buy that tie. North Carolina wins the title and you go out and buy that tie. Columbia? Huh? Tonight. You weren't bringing the East Coast bias. we got Duluth Mafia here. We're pleased to be joined by Minnesota Duluth. We'll have head coach Scott Sandelin, Carson Kuhlman, Avery Peterson, and Dominic Toninato. Okay. We'll begin with questions for the players. Once again, please silence your cell phones and raise your hand, and we'll have a microphone holder bring you the mic and state your name and media agency prior to asking your question. We'll start on the right here. Jess Myers.
Jess Myers, USA Hockey Magazine. Dom, the delay because of the injury seemed to ignite your team or switch their momentum. What was the talk during that timeout, and what changed from that point on?
Just keep pushing. The talk in the locker room was go out there and have our best period and give ourselves a chance. Couldn't be prouder of the guys. They battled and gave it their all.
Additional questions for the student athletes? And Jess in front.
Avery, it seemed like Denver made quite a push in that first maybe 5-6 minutes. The shots were 8-0 at that point. What was that time like, and kind of surviving that moment? I mean, how key was that in kind of staying in the game?
Yeah, we knew that in their past 4 or 5 games, they've come out strong in the first 5 or 10 minutes, so we knew we had to kind of shut that down, and got to give it to them. They did work us pretty good, and they definitely, the ice was tilted their way, but Miska kept us in there and gave us a chance, and our first goal there was to shut down that first 10 minutes of the period.
Take one in the center right.
Austin Rush, UMD Statesman. Carson, I mean, you guys show the resiliency like you have all year in the third period. I mean, even though being down 3-1, how were you able to just keep that mentality going?
Yeah, I think you said it. We've been resilient all year. We've came back multiple times throughout the season, and obviously in regionals there, we fought to come back just to get to this point. So I think we had a lot of belief in our team. I mean, nobody doubted for a second that we couldn't come back and tie that game up and eventually win it. So I think we just learn lessons throughout the year, and almost paid off there.
Take one in the second row on the left.
Candice Horgan, U.S. College Hockey Online. Dom, can you talk about your PK and the way you were able to really neutralize Denver's top line on the penalty kill? It seemed that you've had some struggles with the PK at times during the year, and you were really solid on it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to be aggressive. They were making some good plays on teams that weren't very aggressive, so the mindset was get in shot lanes and be aggressive.
Additional questions for the student athletes? All right, we'll take one in the back.
Hi, Tom Hansen, KDL Radio. Carson, talk about this senior class. I know a lot's been made of it, but now that it is over, your thoughts, Carson, on what they did and what they did for your program, and especially this year?
Yeah, really unbelievable. Special group of guys, top to bottom there. Obviously, it starts with Dom, our captain, our leader. Trickles down. You got character guys. It's been great for our younger guys to see how to play, how to manage games. I think a lot can be learned from that senior class. Obviously, the 3 years that I was with them was special, and I love those guys to death.
Additional questions? All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll take questions from Scott Sandelin right now. We'll start in front. Jim Conley.
Thank you, Scott. Jim Conley from U.S. College Hockey Online. Without disrespecting Denver, did you feel that your team did what they needed to do to win a game tonight? It felt like, especially that third period, you had the opportunities.
Yeah, we did. It was about a 5-minute stretch. It seemed like that was the game, really early with the 3 goals. And I don't even know the amount of time, but again, our team's been behind, and again, you're playing. You get 20 minutes to try and win a hockey game, and I thought our guys went out there and played as well as they could. The effort, you saw the period. I mean, we went after it, and sometimes maybe a little luck. Maybe we ran out of puck luck against Harvard. I don't know, but we did what we had to do, and couldn't be more proud of our guys to battle right to the end. It's pretty much been their character all year. They're a great group of kids, and they never quit. They got a strong will, and we just came up a little short.
Okay. Jess.
Scott, obviously you never want to see injuries, but it seemed like after that delay, the momentum really switched. Did you use that like a timeout and come up with a new plan at that point, or what changed then at that point?
No, I don't think the plan changed. I mean, obviously we talked between periods what we wanted to try and do, and maybe it took a little bit of sting out of them. Anytime you see a teammate go down, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt, and I hope he's all right. I don't know, but our mentality was to just kind of stay after it and have a good shift after that, and I thought we did, and we just kept building off that. But it was a little bit of a rest for our guys, but it didn't really change what we were trying to do. I think we had started the period a little bit, that way, but had some shifts after that and just kind of tried to throw everything at them, but just couldn't quite find the equalizer.
Yeah, we'll take one in the front left.
Scott, Adam Rittenberg with ESPN.com. Once you guys got it to 3-2, what was the mindset on the bench, on the ice, given your success in those closer games?
That we could come back and tie the game and maybe win the hockey game. Certainly, those are good situations. Probably when you get that goal. I mean, you need some spark, and obviously our guys got that spark. And I mean, you guys saw the third period. I mean, they did a pretty good job of spending a lot of time in their offensive zone, and just need to be, maybe a little harder on pucks and a little stronger around the net. But I can't say anything. Our guys were awesome in the third, and we gave ourselves a chance to get back in the game, and we just came up 1 goal short.
Candace.
Scott, Candace Horgan, U.S. College Hockey Online. Can you talk about Troy Terry's play against your team? He had 3 points against you back in December, and he was a big player again tonight, and he had trouble neutralizing.
He's had a
the
pretty
time.
good year. Well, he's a hell of a player. I mean, you saw the play. I mean, makes a great, I think obviously when we played him in December, I mean, he stepped up and, was big time player for them. Borgstrom was out and, but it's kind of their team too. They've had that all year. I think they've had different guys step up and that's why they had the year they did. They're a great hockey team and, he's just a really talented player that's certainly can score goals.
Far right over here, Jess.
Scott, Denver started fast in a lot of their games this year. In the first 6 minutes, I think the shots were 8-0, and they seemed to control things. How important was surviving that stretch, and did you, have to kind of rally guys, or did you consider a timeout at that point or anything?
No, I mean, we knew they were, if you look at whatever their last, certainly the NCAA tournament games, they've had great starts, and we knew that. And our guys, I thought, looked a little tentative, a little nervous. Some of those shots they were putting pucks in from the neutral zone onto Hunter, and so some of those shots weren't necessarily dangerous, but they were coming. And that's how they play. You got to take care of the puck, and if you make soft plays, they're going the other way with it in a hurry, and they were doing that early. And I thought a key for us tonight was trying to get out of our zone clean. So because they do such a good job of getting above you and pressuring, and I thought we had opportunities to do that early, and we didn't really do a very good job. I thought we were hesitant, and instead of just getting the puck out of the zone, we tried to make plays, and they were soft plays, and they contested it with sticks, and next thing you know, it's staying in the zone, and now you're playing defense, and that wasn't the plan. The plan was to spend as little time in our D zone as possible, like starting with breakouts and transition and clean transitions out of our zone.
Take one over here on the right.
Chris Lynch, Chris Lynch with Inside Hockey. Coach, can you talk about the way Hunter performed in this game, especially with that early onslaught that he withstood, and especially being a freshman in the national championship game?
Pretty much like he's done all year. You know what? He's grown. He's grown through the year. He's obviously had an outstanding freshman year for us. Big reason why we were playing today. But he was ready. Like I said, he's been that way. So it's probably one position I don't worry about too much. With just his consistency level and just his focus level, and it's probably a good thing because he had to make 2 or 3 big saves for us early, and probably good for him too to get those under his belt as well. It probably helped him. So it was pretty much the norm how he's played all year.
Additional questions for Coach Sandelin? That's it,
Good.
Coach. Thank
Thanks.
you very much. Yes. Yeah. Denver's open, and Duluth will be open for another about 16 minutes. Okay, the Denver locker room has just opened. It'll be open till 11:10. Ready to fire away? You may need to fire away. Not a lot of media. You know what I mean? He said you may need to fire away. Okay, so just be ready to make sure they all talk. Okay? Thank you. Okay, Denver's on its way down. A couple of personal notes on the Pioneers Championship. Will Butcher becomes the first Hobie Baker winner to win a Hobie Baker and NCAA title since 2011 when Matt Gilroy did it with BU. And Troy Terry becomes the third American-born hockey player to capture World Junior and NCAA title in the same season, joining Chris Kreider, 2010, and Matt Carl, 2004. Was Gilroy 9? Okay. Yeah, excuse me, 2009. All right, we're joined by the 8-time national champion Denver Pioneers. We have players Will Butcher, Tanner Gillette, and Jared Luco Savages here. And Will Butcher would like to give the opening statement. Will,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Hey, thanks. I don't know where Coach Montgomery is. He should be coming here pretty soon. But, this is just great for the university, great for our fans, great for the city of Denver. And, it's hard to put into words what this win means. I love each and every one of these guys on this team, and I'm so proud of them.
Okay, thanks, Will. We'll open up for questions for the players. We'll start in the middle.
Jeff Arnold with the New York Times. Will, after the loss last year to North Dakota, I know you guys have talked about it, the mission to finish it off this way. What's it mean to you guys?
Yeah, again, it's hard to put into words. After that loss, it seemed like everybody was focused from that day on to become better, become committed to excellence like we always talk about, and just sticking to our process as usual. And like I said, I'm so proud of these guys. They followed Coach Montgomery, followed our leadership group so well this year, and like I said, I can't put it into words.
Okay, take one in front, Candace.
Yes.
Hey.
This is for Tanner. Candace Horgan, U.S. College Hockey Online. Duluth fired 17 shots on you in the third period. Talk about the barrage that they were, and how you guys were able to withstand it, especially after they scored the second goal.
Yeah, they were coming strong. Obviously, they're throwing the kitchen sink at us, but our guys had some huge blocks, making plays, and we were able to weather that storm and obviously come out with the win.
Okay, we'll take one on the far left. Jay.
Jared, Jay Cohen, Associated Press. When was the last time you had a hat trick in a game?
Midget hockey. Yeah, I didn't even get one in juniors. I wasn't that good. I don't know what Monty saw in me.
Obviously a lot.
Okay, we'll take one over here on the right.
Jared, Jess Myers from USA Hockey Magazine. What kind of advice did your coach give you about the importance of scoring 3 times in a championship game?
I don't know what he did. He didn't. He just said stick to the process, and we did. You're asking me hard questions here. It's my first press conference, by the way.
We'll take one in the middle, Candace, and then Bob.
Well, talk about when Tarek went down and what you guys had to make adjustments defensively with being down a defenseman and what it did for the team morale to see him get wheeled off like that.
Yeah, we talked about all year how deep our team is, and Matty Van and Michael Davies, our freshman, and Blake Hillman stepped up huge for us. We rolled 5 defensemen the whole time, kept it quick shifts, and just rolled through it and relied on this guy back here, make some key saves for us, and that's what we stuck with it.
Jared, Bob Snow at BruinsDaily.com. We'll try it one more time. Your coach scored a hat trick in the third period of the '93 championship game. Did you know about that and how that came to play in terms of you guys now connected for history?
No, I didn't know before. I guess it's my turn to start balding.
What do you mean start?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
We'll take a couple on the left.
Jared, Dave Hendrickson, USCHO. Here's another tough question for you. Most of those goals seem to be a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Can you just talk about maybe your emphasis in trying to be in that right place so that when Troy makes some of his moves, you can go and capitalize?
Yeah, Gams and Troy did an unbelievable job. They forechecked their butt off, and I wouldn't have scored any of those goals if it wasn't for those two. I just happened to stay in front of the net because I knew they were gonna shoot pucks or bring the puck to the net, and I was in the right place at the right time.
We'll take another one on the left.
Chris Lurch, U.S. College Hockey Online. Tanner, it did get pretty hairy in the third period. You seem pretty calm, and the rest of the guys maybe gripping their sticks tight, but you seem pretty inflammable.
Yeah, they were coming obviously, but we've practiced all year staying composed and closing out games in third periods. And I got to give a lot of credit to my team. They were blocking shots, making plays, chipping pucks out. But obviously, it was good. We were calm back there, and we got the job done.
Okay. Far right over here, Jess.
Will, the momentum seemed to switch after the injury, and Duluth made quite a push at that point. What was that moment like emotionally for you guys to see a teammate go off, and how did that affect what happened on the ice the rest of the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible when you see a teammate and a brother go off like that. The guy that's battled the whole year, and in that game especially with just a play like that. So it was very tough, but like we said, we knew they were going to come with a push. It was the last game of the season, so everybody's going to come with a push in that kind of situation. So, but like we said, we just stuck with it. Might not have played our best period, but we just stuck with it, relied on TJ to make some saves back there, and just tried to play defensively well.
In front.
Sean David, SB Nation. Tanner, talk about the night you had. Duluth was just relentless in the third period. Talk about the night you had and how you were able to withstand them in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team, obviously. We knew they were going to come, like Butchie just said. But just tried to make the saves, put rebounds in the corner. And obviously, I wasn't alone out there. My defense and forwards, I mean, like I said, they're blocking shots, making tons of plays for me, too. They kept everything pretty much to the outside. So, that's all I can ask them to do. And, I mean, we did it as a team, and it's awesome.
Candace.
Candace Horrigan, U.S. College Hockey Line. Jared, you guys had the first 9 shots of the game. You had a great start, but you hit a couple posts, and then Duluth seemed to really counter in the last half of the first period. What did you guys talk about in between the first and second period, since the last time you hadn't scored in a first period you lost to North Dakota?
Well, we just said stick to the process like we've done all year. And we knew that it was going to come, and if we kept playing with the process, and that's what we did.
Take one in the middle.
Nick Tremoroli, letsgodu.com. For any of the three of you, it's been 12 years since this program's won a national title. Can you put into words what this means for the city of Denver and for the school?
Will.
Again, can't put it into words. I think everybody's going to be very proud about this one. Getting back here and being in Chicago with the amount of support and the alumni that are here was amazing. That was the biggest fan base that we've ever had, and just seeing everybody at the hotel out and down in the corner at the end of the game, it was something I'm going to remember the rest of my life. So I think just that in itself was just unbelievable.
Okay, on the right.
Chris Lynch with Inside Hockey. I'll pose this to Will, but either of the other guys, please chime in on this as well. Just talk about what it was like the moment you knew the mission was accomplished, and also seeing Tarek in the celebration afterwards and getting to see him, who he probably lobbied to stay in the United Center.
Yeah.
So just talk about seeing your guy afterwards and winning the championship.
Yeah, the moment I realized that we'd won it, I looked up at the clock and it was at like 1 point something, and puck was going out of the zone. I turned it around, I threw my stuff, and I was trying to get my helmet off, and I couldn't even get my helmet off. I'm looking at TJ, and he's like, just looking up, and it was just, I don't even know. It's just something I can't put into words, to be honest with you. And then seeing Tarek come back out was unbelievable. I was asking, David Tenzer and a couple other guys if he was going to be there, just because, I wanted him to be there to celebrate that victory with us. And it was just amazing to see him have the will and the guts to just stay and celebrate with us at the end.
Tanner, Jared, anything to add on that?
We wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah, definitely. That kid's my best friend, and, I mean, he's a battler. It's unfortunate that he went down, but, I mean, it was awesome that he stuck around and was able to celebrate with us.
All right, thanks, Jared, and then thanks, Tanner. Additional questions for the student athletes. We'll take one in back.
This is for any of the three players. How special was it to win the championship on this ice, where there's been so much history with the Blackhawks over the last decade?
Tanner.
I mean, it's awesome. Obviously, the Blackhawks are a pretty awesome franchise, and like you said, so much history in this building. I mean, it was awesome to go out there and be able to pull one out for our program.
Okay, we'll take one on the far right.
This is for any of you players. When you met with Tarek, close to center ice, what did you guys say to him?
Beep, 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 beep. Championship. That's the truth.
All right, additional questions for the student athletes? All right, guys, thank you very much and congratulations. All right, Coach Montgomery, we need an introduction of your son and then an opening statement.
Okay, this is my second son, my second oldest, Colin Donald Montgomery. Colin, say hello to everybody.
Hello.
But incredible moment. First, I want to congratulate Minnesota Duluth on an incredible year. I thought they were going to be the team to beat before the season started, and they started off so well. And a lot of respect that our staff and our players have for the way they play the game. Their staff, led by Coach Sandelin, is an incredible person, and they had an incredible year. And we won the regular season, they won the playoff, and we met in the championship game. It speaks volumes about our conference, but also about the two teams were headed for the collision course in the final game here. Once I saw the tournament bracket, I was just happy we weren't going to meet them in the semifinal.
Okay, questions. We'll start with Jay on the left.
Jay Cohen, Associated Press. So you see one of your players get a hat trick in the NCAA final. What memories did that bring back to you? What's your reaction, and what did you say? It looked like you said something to the guys when they showed it on the video board up above the ice here.
No, I didn't know. The players were asking me if I saw the board, and I said, I'm staying in a moment. My eyes are staying below the boards. I didn't know they meant the scoreboard. So I did not know. I did not know there was another. That's the first hat trick. But I'm glad I'm part of both, and I'm glad we won the championship in both nights.
Okay. Candace.
Candace Oregon, U.S. College Hockey Line. Monty, just talk about the recovery from Tarek's injury for your team. I mean, it seemed like they really pushed against you right after that, and you guys were really struggling. It seemed like it took a lot of wind out of your sails for the first 3 or 4 minutes right after that injury.
Yeah, I mean, Tarek Hammond's a warrior. He's our biggest, most physical defenseman, and he was matching up against their top two lines and doing an incredible job. And obviously, when a warrior goes down, we talk about staying in a moment. We talked about picking up a warrior, and we all have to play like warriors. But human nature, they're going to come push. I thought that we were playing really well the first 2.5 minutes until his injury. And I thought the next 6 minutes was just, we were holding on. It was like we were wearing seatbelts. We weren't skating anymore. And our communication was poor, which just allowed them to hem us in our end. Then I thought for the next 4 minutes, I thought we were really good until the 8-minute timeout. And then it was kind of even until they scored that goal. I thought we were playing really good. We made a mistake on their second goal, but give them credit. They're a great team, and they pushed at us, and they caused us to turn the puck over. And they created a 2-on-1 at the net, and they capitalized. Then it was back to that putting the seatbelt on, hang on. But thank God we have the Mike Richter Award winner, and I think everyone realizes why he won, because he was incredible in the third period. His confidence and poise and how secure he was in controlling rebounds gave us confidence that we were going to be able to prevail.
Bob.
Jim, I'm sure that neither is better than the other, but the fulfillment of winning it as a coach and a player, can you talk about the emotions that go through from 25 years ago and then tonight?
Yeah, I think when your adrenaline's going as a player, it's maybe more euphoric, just in the sense that your heart rate's up. Mine probably 180, but as a coach, it's an incredible feeling, and you're more proud of your student athletes and how they've grown and how they seize the moment, and being part of that and being able to lead that group, so to speak, as the head coach. It's an incredible feeling of pride that we were able to do this, and to be able to lead a group like Sean Walsh did, who's a mentor of mine, the way he led us. I'm not saying I'm like Sean Walsh, because he's a legend, but I draw a lot of my experiences from him, and especially Grant Stambrook, who I've worked with, and I spoke to Grant today about what does it take, and we had a great moment, and he's in his hospital. He's battling cancer right now, and he's texting me, he's calling me in between periods to give me advice. And it's just a special bond when you're part of a special program and a special family, and you have that kind of commitment to each other. It never dies. And these young men, I know, will be friends for life, and they'll be proud pioneers for the rest of their life.
Dave.
Dave Hendrickson, USCHO. Jared said he didn't know what you saw in him when you recruited him. Can you tell us, what did you see in him, not only when you recruited him, but why you put him on the first line?
Well, what I saw was a guy who knew how to score goals and had really good hockey sense. And we needed to upgrade our goal-scoring ability. and you never turn away goal scorers. And, you know, he came here and he didn't understand the work ethic and that you need. And I give him, in his freshman year, and in his sophomore year, he stayed all summer in Denver. He worked out with our strength and conditioning coach, and he was a beast. And then when Trevor Moore signed in August, I said, you're not playing right wing anymore. You got to go learn how to play left wing. So every day you're out on the ice, take hard passes on your backhand. And I said, you need to shoot every puck you see because we need a goal scorer. And give him credit because he relished the role and he was really hard to play against. They're not easy goals he scored. I know that everyone says, like, you might have an open net, but he buried them. And he was in the area where it's tough to score goals. And you need players like that, especially on your first line when you have playmakers and dynamic skaters like Gambrell and Terry.
Jay, then Candace.
Jay Cohen, Associated Press. Can you give us any details on Tarek's injury, what his prognosis is and the process for him in the next couple of days?
Yeah. First, I want to share my moment with Tarek when I saw him on the ice. I was overcome with emotion when I saw him come back out. But I'm not surprised. He has the heart of a champion. He's an incredible teammate. And he's definitely wearing a letter next year, probably our captain next year. And he was really emotional. But he just kept saying, we did it. And his prognosis is probably a broken ankle. And I guess it wasn't easy for our 3 orthopedic surgeons that were here to put it back in place. But I guess how tough a kid he is. Once it was back in place, he wanted to hop out on the ice. It just shows the character of the individuals that we recruit at Denver.
Okay.
Jim, I went back up and looked up your pressers after you played Duluth in December, and you said the difference between winning and losing was your best player, Troy Terry, was your best player on the ice Friday night, and he was held without a point on Saturday. So just talk about Troy's performance tonight. He seemed to be all over the ice on those goals with Jared.
No, he was incredible. I thought ever since the NCHC playoffs started, he's been our most dominant player. All over the ice. He's been relentless, and I think that opportunity to win gold with the World Juniors has really given him an idea of how to mentally prepare when you're playing in big stages. And he's just incredible. What he did on that second goal, I mean, I thought he scored it. That's why I didn't know that Lucas Savage, I thought he put it in. I didn't know Luca put it in.
On the left.
Can you talk about Blake Hillman's growth and how important he was on the back end for you guys this year?
Blake, I don't know what it is. I got to get him to play as good in the first half as he does in the second half. He's, again, this year he just took it to another level in the second half, and he has great poise. You know, he finds the middle of the ice. He's able to look people off and allow our forwards to skate with penetration. You know, and with Butcher moving on, he's going to have a bigger role next year. But he plays the style of play. I don't know if everyone knows he's drafted by the Blackhawks. So he's Blackhawk-style defenseman. Very cerebral, good skater, and knows how to make good plays in all 3 zones.
Okay, second row on the left.
Coach, what does it mean to win this for this senior class?
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit romantic that it's my 4th year, so I feel like I'm graduating with them. But incredible, because their commitment has been unreal to the program, especially in the last 18 months. And what they learned from Grant Arnold, who was an incredible captain for 2 years, that helped me change the culture into a selfless and about the team first and not individuals, was mind-boggling. And then what they did to add to it as a group was incredible. And for them to be rewarded, I was worried yesterday with all those individual honors coming that we never thought about, and the emotion of it. I mean, you know, when Will won the Hobie, it's an incredibly emotional moment. And I'm worried, here's our best defenseman. Is he going to have legs tomorrow night? And give them credit. They never thought about anything about themselves. I mean, he didn't even spend time with his family. He's like, I'm going with you, Coach. We're going back. So it's just a special group.
Additional questions for Coach Montgomery? All right, we'll take one in the back and then one in the front.
Coach Jeff Cox with SB Nation. You just kind of talked about it a little bit, but it seemed like your puck support when you guys were going well in the first and second, where it was just really good. It seemed like every time there was someone was in trouble, one of your other guys came to bail them out. What can you say about the puck support and how important that was, and getting that lead in the second period?
No, it's a big focus in how we play. We want to play fast. We want to generate speed, and we got to have. We talk about 10 to 15 foot puck support, and if people aren't moving their feet to get the space for their teammate, they're not doing the right thing. And over the course of the year, I think that's why we get better offensively, is because we drill it every day, and we may go about it differently about how we attack every opponent because we see holes differently. Every opponent we had played a completely different game throughout this tournament. And for us to be able to adjust and just keep playing relentless hockey with puck possession like that, it's because of those guys' commitment to each other.
Candace.
Jim, you had a great start. You fired the first 9 shots on the game and you really set the pace, but then Duluth was able to kind of turn the tide for a bit. And during the first 9 shots, you had a couple posts. Given some of Duluth's puck luck, what were you thinking at that point?
No, I wasn't thinking anything. We were just thinking I like the way we're playing. And we knew they were going to push back, and they came back in the last half of the period, and they got some chances. They had, I thought, one great chance and a great save by Gillette on the rebound, I think, on Toninato.
Take one on the right.
Coach, last year you were in a very similar position, minute left in the game, D-zone draw. Can you kind of talk about what you said to the guys on the bench this year compared to last year?
Well, I said stop icing the puck. That was one thing, But when it came down to it, with that last timeout, we talked about it because we didn't have our timeout anymore because I used it in a second. So we talked about what we need to do in the D zone and that we needed to communicate and we needed to have little bump plays to be able to get pucks out. The opening game against Michigan Tech, we made the exact same mistake in the end of the second period as we did, and we got scored against. And that, I cracked down on that after that weekend and talked about our game management has to be better, and I give our players credit because I only thought we had one forced icing there down that whole stretch of wild hockey where Duluth was coming at us.
Take one in front.
Coach, you talked about it a few times already, but given what happened last year in the Frozen Four and everything you went through in the summer and fall, do you feel like this was a team of destiny?
Well, we can say that now. But I never feel like there's a team of destiny. I always worry about, when things are going too well, about making sure we stay grounded and we hold each other accountable. And I think that loss to North Dakota helped us that way.
Okay, we got time for one more. We'll take one on the left.
Coach, congratulations. You see teams all the time let up after scoring a goal. You guys didn't seem to do that in any tournament game. What made you guys different?
Well, we always talk about keeping our foot on their throat, and we talk about going right back at them. And if you watch the neutral zone face-offs, we're never retreating. We're going forward with it. And I think that's a big part of our mentality is when we score, we want to keep people down.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks. Let's go, buddy.